All right, my lovelies, let's see what we've got here. So with the Knight of Swords coming up as the underlying energy for this week, it's taking on his vibration. Whenever I get a court card as underlying energy, I always see the underlying energy as the person I'm reading for anyway, and no matter what they're asking about. But for you guys, it's general, right? So if there's someone very central to your story, apply it as will be. But you'll know about this. It's the underlying, you feel it, you know it. The Knight of Swords speaks his truth. He goes charging into battle, and if you look at the original Rider-Waite, he's the one that's all geared up, sword raised, ready to go and fight. He fights for his truth. Whatever that truth is. He knows what his convictions are. He has strength in his convictions, and he goes for it. Now, he can come in out of nowhere, speak his truth, and kind of just dash off. So I don't know if you're planning to do that. Whenever I get the knights, especially when there's a king showing up as well, because the kings have mastery, right? And the knights don't. The knights, they get such a bad reputation. And I think, why are you expecting the knights to be like the kings and queens? They're not. They are knights. That's how they get their missions done. That's how they're out there dashing about, on their little missions that they're trying to do. King and queen of whoever, they get to sit on a throne and just dictate what they want. But he's the one that gets the job done. So the knight, this is about the truth. This is about communication. And when I see the Knight of Swords, it may be something that you've not spoken about before. Like you're not very confident in speaking about it. It might be the first time that you're bringing it up. A new way of communicating even. And so what happens, if you're new at something, you might step on a few toes. It might not come out exactly the way that you want it to. It may come out a little bit more blunt than you expected, but that doesn't mean you don't say it. Especially not with the King of Cups sat underneath there. And great things come out of this, guys. So I'm telling you this. If whoever that initial message was for, the secrets one and the internal struggle, go for it. And I understand why. I understand why you may not want to say it. I understand this because we have the Ten of Swords coming up at the heart of your reading. Now, I always see the Ten of Swords as the difficult thing having happened. I always see it. It's already happened. I mean, we don't see the people around that have stabbed her in the back with the swords. They've gone. She's lying there with the 10 swords in her back. What I always say about this card is that it's overkill. No matter which way you look at this, it's overkill. Does not take 10 swords to take down a woman, right? But apparently it did in this situation. Now, remember what I said. Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. So is this in the past, did some communication go really wrong? Was somebody kind of left kind of decimated because of something that was said? Very difficult energy. I'm not going to try to play it down. There's no way to sugarcoat this. Whatever has happened. I mean, that's the best thing about the Ten of Swords is that it's over. It's done. This is where the writing's on the wall. We're at rock bottom. We know what the situation is. The truth is all out here. But I think this is something different from what's going on here. I kind of feel like, because the swords here, they can be our memory, like we're haunted by what happened in the past. This is what happened in the past. I was left feeling like this. Whether we did that to someone else, they did it to us, general. And I kind of feel like this is what's haunting you, based off of what's going on here. Because there's some new communication. This energy is telling me this is a different situation, but you're remembering what happened in the past. And I also say that because of the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is coming up as a past energy. Last week, last month, last year. There's a real energy here of, I knew that would happen. I should have listened to my gut feeling. I knew that was going to happen. And it did happen, because this is our expectations. But remember how powerful you are. Did it happen because you had kind of you were almost expecting it? Do you see what I mean? Now, the Three of Wands doesn't always have to be that. And I kind of don't feel like that's the main energy of why this is coming up here. The main reason the Three of Wands is coming up here is I feel like you've been trying to get to somewhere, or you've been waiting for some news. You've been waiting for some kind of communication to come in, maybe, because, she's sitting there ready, prepared. I'm expecting it. Did you get decimated because it didn't come in? Did you feel like this because the news didn't come? The message didn't come? Whatever it was that you were waiting for, you were expecting, it didn't come in. Now, be very careful about that, because sometimes we see things, we're looking for it in a certain, what am I trying to say? Like we're looking for one certain thing, but it might come in a different way, and we don't recognize it because we're expecting it to look a certain way. So remember that. Remember that. But this is a card of manifestation. I do see that with the Three of Wands. Now, I don't mean the part of manifestation where we're visualizing, raising our vibration. I mean, that's all stuff. We're manifesting all the time anyway, right? This is that conscious, when we're consciously manifesting something. This is where it comes in. This is where we know it's coming in. This is knowing what to expect, and based off of what comes back to you, off, the initial steps, the action that you've taken, you know what's going to come into you, and you're ready for it. You have a plan ready to go. It's Wands, so you're ready to act. This is not a wait and see energy. This is, I know what's coming in. Let me get my plan ready for when it comes in, what I'm going to do. I want to say this to some of you. For those of you that have been trying to manifest a relationship, I kind of feel like you're not seeing it in a certain way. I mean, there might be someone coming in, but you don't see them for what they are. Why am I saying that? Because we have the King of Cups here. Now, the King of Cups he's the ideal lover. There's nothing about this that says this is 100% a relationship reading. We can always use the energies however we want to use them, right? And very much so, whatever this is, all it says is speaking the truth, expecting something in the past, but there was some shit that went down with the Ten of Swords. And that's still very much haunting you, that Ten of Swords, whatever this was that happened. And yet with the King of Cups, this is love. This is, and when I say love, I don't mean romance for those people that say they just want to know about their money. You have a love of money then, or a love of what you do, hopefully the work that you do. Thing with the King of Cups, he does have emotional maturity. Like he knows how he feels. He's very aware of this. He's got mastery over his suit, and yet he knows how to control his emotions. So you don't always know how he's feeling. When he wants to, he can be very loving, very nurturing, take care of people. And he's very intuitive as well. I mean, have a look at this. This is almost, if he's not saying how he feels, can you imagine if the King of Cups is sat there not saying how he feels? Can you imagine the Knight of Swords? He'd come in and say, what the hell do you feel? Why are you just sat there smiling like that or looking like that, holding that bloody cup? What is it that you want? So it's that's kind of the kind of energy that I'm picking up here. I don't see these two as the same person. I mean, it could be for some of you, but unless it's you that you've been feeling a certain way, but you haven't said it because you got messed up in the past, which would make sense. You're expecting something. This is what happened. And so you might be wanting to express how you feel. That's the only way I can see these two being the same person, is expressing how you feel. And you're not very confident in doing it. And it can come out a little harsher. And it's kind of strange. It's just weird. But the King of Cups, he comes from a heart place. So even if it's going for something, going for, maybe you've not wanted to go for the job, not wanted to go have that conversation, not wanting to do it because of this. But this is haunting you. It's like a hangover of something that happened in the past. Your expectations were dashed or something happened here. But you're a king now, King of Cups. Now, if that is not you, then that's could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It doesn't have to be. But that's someone, again, who's not saying how they feel, but maybe they're ready to. But you may have to call them out on it. You may have to call them out on it. Maybe they're keeping secrets. Maybe whatever you suspect, I'd say go for it. And I've been accused before of pushing my Aquarian agenda of free speech and freedom. And I'm never going to apologize for that. I'm never going to apologize for that. That's the filter that I am. That's the messenger that I am. And that's part of my message that I have to bring to everyone. And yeah, if you're not comfortable, and I get it. Some people are more comfortable doing it than others. I wasn't always the most comfortable in speaking my truth. But trust me, it gets addictive. Once you start doing it and you see the results that come from it, it gets addictive. And have a look here. So in your spread, when we have the King of Cups in, I really feel like this is about showing how much you care, showing what you feel. That's the thing here. Whether that is pursuing whatever the object of your desire is that you love, the job, the relationship, the person, whatever, going for it. It takes courage. I get that. But first you have to know how you feel yourself before we even get anywhere else. And it gives you strength, guys. Now, even if it's not about communication, which I think it very strongly is with the Knight of Swords there, but let's just forget that for a moment, because it could be different aspects of this, different messages coming in for people. Knowing how you feel, knowing what you love, knowing, like, focusing on, I'm going to do this job, no matter how shitty it is, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get through this because I want to provide for my family. because I want to get the house, because I want that car, whatever it is, whatever that we always want something because of how it's going to make us feel. That's the whole point. That's how we raise our vibration to manifest stuff. We feel how we think that thing's going to make us feel. That's how we bring it in. But realizing, focusing on that feeling it gives you strength. It gives you courage to get what you want. It'll give you strength and courage to get over this, you know, to go from rock bottom to rise up and to be this thing that you want to be. Strength is courage under fire. It is that grace, you know, that we show, the dignity that we show, that we might be going for a difficult situation, but we can do it. This card says is that you have the strength to overcome any obstacle. Now, what your obstacle is this. Something that happened in the past. I'm not going to waver on that. I'm really seeing that here. This energy very strongly says to me that this is something that happened in the past. But it's the strength to get over that. It's the strength to act despite that, you know, in spite of what happened. It's like, it won't take me down. It's not going to change who I am. It's not going to stop me from going for what I want. You know, if it's love, you know, just because I got betrayed in love before, or I was decimated in love before, doesn't mean I don't deserve it now. I'm not going to go for it. Or go for the things that I love. What's the advice? The advice is the Fool. Out of this, accepting how you feel, having the courage to go for it, the courage to overcome obstacles, especially this stuff that happened here, speaking your truth, you get a new beginning out of it, guys. You get a new beginning out of it. And this is it. This is the chance to go again. This is the chance to have a major life change. And I know they're weeklies. It's 7 days, right? Some of you are going to run through this in a day. Some of you might take you a couple of weeks to go through the energy. We go at our own pace. Although Knight of Swords is very fast moving. It's almost as if once you start speaking the words, things start falling into place very quickly. The Fool it's a leap of faith. No guarantees. And in the past, think about it. We had the Three of Wands. So this is, you know, you might have played it safe, or you might have been expecting something, like you didn't want to go beyond your expectations. But there's no expectations here. There's nothing. You don't know what's going to come up. We don't have a map when the Fool shows up. The only map you have a look. She has a look behind her. The only map that you have is where you've been. You don't want to go back to where you've been. That's for sure. You want a new beginning now. But if you want something new, then you have to do something new, right? And so with the Fool card, it does say, you know, take a leap of faith. That's your choice. And again, it's risky. We got that Seven of Swords that flew at the beginning. It feels like a risk to you. But you're going to do it for the experience. That's why you do it. Because you want a new experience. If you want to experience something that you've never experienced before, then you have to do something that you've never done before, right? That's the Fool. That is the Fool. And the Fool is trusting, excited, ready to get up and go. Because the Fool doesn't have to trust the path or the journey or anyone else. The Fool trusts in herself here, you know, that she will know what to do. She's just finished a major life cycle. You can bet that teaches you a few lessons. I was telling Scorpio that too.